Braylon, and to start things off, I just want to know, like, how are you doing? This isn't your traditional video. I want to post this as a conversation. So forget that this is a YouTube video. Just pretend, imagine that I'm chilling with you, you chilling with me, and we're just getting to know each other. So, hi, I'm your new best friend, Braylon, and how are you doing? I genuinely want to know how you're doing, because me right now, my mind is so clouded and consumed with so many things, and I just need to get it out. Like, I really need to get it out. So I just figured that maybe today we can journal. I'm sure there's a lot of things that's probably going on in your mind too, and because we're always so constantly on the go, being productive, doing who knows what, that we never have time to actually sit down and put our thoughts on paper, or to not even just put it on paper, but to just actually sit and process all of the feelings and thoughts and emotions that we're feeling. So join me right now in this conversation. If you feel like you want to journal with me, please feel free to pull out your journal. If you don't have a journal, pull out any piece of paper, notebook paper that you have, get a pen, get some markers, whatever you feel that may help you in terms of self-expressing or whatnot. Or even if you feel like you just want to think about all these things as we go and whatnot, that's cool too. But thank you so much for joining me in this conversation today. But yeah, let's get started. So if you're planning on, journaling with me, some materials that you're going to need for this video or for this conversation is the one, journal. Like I said before, if you got a piece of paper, notebook paper, anything, or if you just want to just watch along and think about these things, that's cool. But if you want to journal, make sure you get your journal, some pens, some markers, some paints, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever medium you're comfortable with, it doesn't matter with me. I'm just so thankful that you're here to actually, come along on this journey with me in terms of decluttering our minds and filtering out our emotions and whatnot, just talking it out. To start things off, you know how in school, whenever you're meeting your classmates for the first time, your teachers always want to do an icebreaker. So let's do an icebreaker. The first thing that I would want to do in terms of this icebreaker is, I think one of the things that's been on my mind a lot recently is some fears that I have right now. What is something that you may be fearing right now? Or I feel like sometimes we always get so caught up in the future, in that we don't necessarily recognize what's happening in our present. But I just feel like it's also important, as we have those fears that are in our minds, that we write it out and declare them as not being so. So to start off, by leading you by example in terms of sharing my own fears, I have fear of not being successful. Right now I feel like I'm kind of in this lost stage that I don't really know what next steps to take. And I haven't told you guys, but I'm a senior in college right now, and it's crunch time for me. Graduation is approaching very soon, May 2022, what's up? But yeah, graduation is approaching very soon, and I don't know what the heck I'm going to be doing after I get out of the context of college. Granted, everybody goes, the traditional route, getting a job or whatnot and stuff like that, but I don't know, if I'm being honest, I don't want to do that. I do not want to follow the traditional path. I really want to be my own boss and kick it in this life and doing the things that I want to do at my own pace, not having to make somebody else $1 when I could be doing that for myself. But not doing the traditional path is kind of hard. You actually have to cultivate the different things that you want to do within your life, and it's hard. Starting from scratch is hard, and I just don't want to be deemed as not successful. I want to know that I can afford living my dream life, yeah, and just not knowing the unknown is kind of scary sometimes. And I just hope at the end of all of this that I am successful. If that's a fear of yours too, I hope at the end of this that you're successful. I pray that for both of us. So I'm gonna go ahead and write that down in my journal. I think another fear that I have is being alone as well. And I feel like this is a very common fear for people within my generation. I'm 21, and I feel like within the social media culture right now, it's so popular to be in a relationship, and sometimes being single and just doing your things is not often like overrated as being in a relationship is. And mind you, being in a relationship is fine. Like it's beautiful to be able to share an intimate connection with somebody like that, and one day I hope I get to that point. But I don't know, like as somebody that's venturing life as a single, and you know, trying to kind of keep my mind from feeling like I need to be with somebody, or feeling like there needs to be somebody to do these things with me, I think that that's kind of like played out. And I think we really should start normalizing that, hey, you can do all these things alone. Now mind you, I feel like we are doing that good, like through TikTok, or being like that girl or whatever, that guy or whatever, you know, those type of trends that kind of focus on like being productive and being your best self. We're doing an amazing job of that, and there's a lot of like wellness people out there and there that promote that, so I'm very thankful for that because it's really helped me in so many ways. But I do feel like there should definitely be some more promotion in terms of people genuinely loving themselves and being 100% comfortable in who they are. And that's kind of what I want to advocate with this and whatnot. At least I'm advocating for that for myself right now, and for anybody who may be watching my videos, maybe they can get that for themselves or whatnot. So fear of being alone is definitely one of my fears. Is there any other fears that I may have? If you have any fears, guys, please feel free to comment. I want to watch, well not watch, I want to read all of them, and I definitely want to respond to them as much as I can. But okay, since I can't think of any other fears right now, I'm gonna go ahead and go to goals. So after we write down all of our fears, I think it's best to turn it to a positive note and to focus on goals. So for a goal that I really want to achieve right now is being consistent. I feel like this is a goal of mine that has been on my freaking goals list for years, and it's about time that I actually follow through with it, you know? Being consistent is not easy. It's not easy, you know? As people, we get in all these different types of moods that prevent us from wanting to do the things that we've been wanting to do, and it's time to put an end to that, you know? I am not gonna let procrastination rule me. I've been in the gym more recently too, so I want to put incorporating weightlifting as one of my goals as well. So I'm excited for that. Like, I used to dread going to the gym. Like, I used to dread it. Oh my gosh, I used to dread it. But now, like, as I'm going a lot more recently, and it's seeing the impact that it's had on my body and my mental health, and just how I'm feeling in general in terms of my self-love, like, it's so beneficial. Like, if you're not in the gym and you've been wanting to go to the gym and you just haven't yet, please do it. You know, the hardest part about going to the gym is literally going to get up and going to go do it. And once you get there, it all just flows. Granted, it is hard. Pushing through pain can be hard, but you'll be one step closer to being that dream person that you know that you can achieve. So, just do it. In terms of another goal, ultimate goal right now as I'm young, New York City 2022, right? Like I said, I'll be graduating in May 2022, and I've always had this idea of wanting to be in New York City after I graduate. Now, granted, I want what God has for me. So if that's not it, that's totally fine. But in terms of my own wishes and desires, I really want to be in New York. And as a goal that I have for my life, an idea that I have for my life, I feel like it's necessary that I do put it down as a goal, because I really do want to see that manifest within my life in some way or form. So hopefully with me going through this path with YouTube, content creation, yada yada yada, maybe I can actually do that. Maybe I can actually achieve that. And if I do, guys, wish me luck. As far as goals go, I don't think I have any more that's on the top of my head. So the next thing that we're gonna go of is, what are you proud of within yourself right now? I think aside from like fears, things that we're all constantly like mind boggled in, things that haven't happened yet, all our worries and stress, like sometimes we don't necessarily take time to reflect on what we've accomplished in the present. So what are some things that you've accomplished in the present that you feel like are worth acknowledging? Even your existence is worth acknowledging. So life can be hard, life can be so tough. So if you can't think of anything, like definitely write that down and definitely think about that, you know. I thank God so much for waking me up and giving me this breath in my body, and it's just so amazing to be able to walk the earth. You know, things can get tough, but it's so beautiful. People are so beautiful, the sky is so beautiful, the air is so beautiful, and I'm just so thankful to be a part of it. So living, I am very proud of. I'm proud of working through all these assignments that I've had as a student. So, because student life is hard, so I'm proud of that as well. Getting through student life. I think another thing for me that I am proud of is, I'm proud of trying to cultivate my own path. Like I said before, like it's weird when you don't know the steps it takes to get to a point that you want in life. Like, granted, everybody knows, like, for example, if you want to be a lawyer, you know you gotta go to school for that. So it's like you go to school. I'm not saying that it's easy. Law school is very hard. Everything, all of that stuff is hard. But in terms of you knowing the steps to get to that point, like, it's easier than like having this life and you wanting to be an entrepreneur or a YouTuber or anything that's you don't necessarily have to go to school for. It's weird to not even know what steps to take to get to that point. And that's kind of what I feel like I'm in right now. Like, I'm kind of in a limbo and not really knowing, like, what steps do I need to take to get to X, Y, and Z. And I'm just proud that I'm even sticking through it. And I'm just proud that I even came to that conclusion that that's what I want to do. But yeah, so what are you proud of within yourself? And whatever you've written down, like, I know it's something great, it's something amazing. You guys should really pat yourselves on the back more. I know I need to, because we're all amazing. Like, we all are so capable of doing amazing things, and I feel like as people, we really need to start, like, actually taking time to really acknowledge all the beauty that we've provided to this world, you know? So yeah, definitely take time on acknowledging your worth, your power, your presence, all of that. Like, just be proud of you. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm just proud of me. Like, just me. Like, I don't want to come out big-headed. But I feel like I'm a pretty solid person. Like, I'm pretty good. Like, acknowledging, like, who I've been in up into this very point right now. Like, I've grown astronomically, and I just cannot be more proud of myself for that. Like, for even me to be able to be in front of this camera and to potentially put this up on a platform where millions of people could watch it, like, that is so huge for me, because I just could have never even fathomed that being a possibility for my life. So I'm even proud of myself for considering this path. So yeah. Yeah, and I think that pretty much sums up my fears, my goals, and what I'm proud of. If I think of anything more, I'll probably add to it. But for you, if you are not done writing, or if you're not done thinking, just take a moment, pause, no rush here. I really want you guys to actually, like, evaluate on things and, you know, see for yourselves what it is that you guys need to think about. Or even if you haven't thought about all these things, maybe it's time to actually do it. Or maybe it's time to actually write this down so it's not so constantly being consumed in your mind, you know? So if you're not done with writing your fears or your goals or what you're proud of, just take the time, think about it, and when you're ready, you can unpause me. But if you're ready to move on to the next thing, let's do it. Alright, so moving on from the icebreaker. I knew I took a long time to get through that, so guys, bear with me. But yeah, I have some self-reflection questions, and I just recently bought the We're Not Really Strangers self-reflection edition pack. So that's what I'll be doing right now, is reading these questions and answering them. But first, let me get some color on these pages. Like, if you know me, like, I love color. When I journal, I have to have some color, like, popping on here and whatnot. So let me actually put some freaking color on this mug. Like, I always start with this hot pink. Ooh. I always start with this hot pink. I don't know, the vibrancy of it is just so beautiful to me. So it's like, it's just an automatic go-to. Like, I just have to put this on my page. But yeah, so all right, as I'm adding some color to this page, I'm gonna go ahead and answer the first self-reflection question. And okay, I picked these out of the deck randomly, so I don't know what these questions say. I didn't even look at them when I picked them out of the deck. So reading them now will be my first time reading them, so let's go. All right, so the first question says, what have I always accepted as true that turned out to be false? So if you guys can hear me, the question said, what have I always accepted as true that turned out to be false? I don't know, this is probably relatable to a lot of people, because, you know, sometimes we can't really see ourselves, and we really can't necessarily see what other people see. So I think something that I've accepted as true that is very false is, for a long time, I kind of felt like I was not pretty. So, and as you can see, very cute girl. Even though I might look like a black cotton ball on this, you know, video, it's okay, because I'm cute. I'm cute. I have a great personality, nice smile, charisma's there, you know? After you get past the shyness, the charisma's there, and I'm cute, so. And you're cute too. I see you, I see what you're wearing, I see your vibe. Like, we're vibing right now, and it's just a cute vibe. So, like, we're both beautiful people. And yeah, I just think that that's a truth that definitely has turned out to be false. And throughout my, like, self-love journey, I don't know, I just hadn't realized that. Like, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and it's definitely not worth you not beholding your own beauty. Hopefully that made sense, but definitely behold your own beauty. But even if you feel like you're not even at a point to where you are beholding your own beauty, you'll definitely get there. And I tell you, something that's definitely not going to make it help is allowing people to fill that void for you, because there's nothing better than you loving yourself and knowing that you're so worth so much things and worth so much stuff that you're just worthy, okay? I could explain that a lot better, but yeah, you're worth so much things. And if somebody's not giving to you, or can't see your worth for who you are, or see the beauty that you possess and that you're giving out to the world, then screw them, because you're a beautiful being. Like I said, the vibe that we're already getting off right now is just impeccable. So if they don't think you're beautiful, I do, and hopefully that counts for something. But so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next question. And the second question is, when was the last time I remember being mean to someone? Why did I act this way? Ooh, when was the last time I remember being mean to someone? Why did I act this way? say that I'm a very, very reasonable person. Like, I feel like I'm not purposefully any type of way unless given a reason. Granted, I'm not perfect, so maybe I do act out with an attitude. I know my mom would say that I would act out with an attitude even when it's not even supposed to be given, and I'm sorry for that, mama. But, I don't know. I think maybe recently, I think I was probably mean to my sister. Even though I don't think we necessarily talk about it or whatnot, but you know, within our personal lives, I think there's some things that have kind of been like a misunderstanding, and I don't know, maybe I could have been better at understanding, and maybe in her perception I was mean for not being understanding, but yeah, I don't know. For anybody that knows me and has watched this and has known that I've been mean recently, let me know so we can talk about it. We can squash it. We can definitely squash it, because I'm here. I really want to know what I've done wrong so I can correct any mean behavior that I've had. But yeah, so if y'all watching this and you know me, well, let me know if I was mean recently and I didn't mention it. But yeah. Next question. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Journaling and trying to do this video at the same time, it's kind of hard. Like, usually I focus all of this into my journaling. So like, I'm doing the scribble here, I'm doing the scribble there, but it's not really filling up the page like how I want it to be. So if I show you at the end of this that my page is blank, don't get mad at me. But it just is what it is. But, oh, this one's a cute one. Okay, so this question kind of goes with, you know, one of the icebreakers that we had. It's like, kind of, what am I proud of? But it says, I want to thank myself for blank. And let's think. I want to thank myself for what? Braylon, what do you want to thank yourself for? I think I want to thank myself for bearing through it. Like I mentioned before, like, if you didn't hear me, I said I want to thank myself for bearing through it. I think, as I said before, life gets hard. Life gets really, really hard. Things come your way and they straight up sucker punch you for real, for real. And I just want to be, I'm just thankful that I am strong enough to make it through all the things that I've endured. You know, sometimes you want a friend, sometimes you want a sister, sometimes you want your mama or whatnot, and like, not all the time those people are going to be there for you. Not because they choose not to be, but you know, they sometimes maybe physically can't or emotionally can't, and sometimes you really do have to be your own cheerleader. And I really want to thank myself for being that sometimes. I really be rooting for me, and at the end of the day, you gotta be rooting for you too above anything, you know? Because if you ain't got you, God got you. But if God ain't got you, you got you. God always gonna have you. But you know, I got me, and he got me too. So I'm just thankful that through his strength and the strength that he's blessed me with, that I have gotten through a lot. So thank you. All right, so what have I been sensitive to lately? Oh my gosh. Okay. This is really wants me to be really, really personal. I get it. But okay, so what I've been really sensitive to lately is, I think kind of like how I was just saying, like, you know, sometimes certain people aren't going to be there for you in your life, and it's really up to you to kind of stick it through, or throw yourself a pity party for not having them there, and that's no fun, and it's not going to help in terms of, you know, in the long run to kind of sit and wallow in your pain or any sorrow that you may have. Now granted, all those emotions are valid and you definitely should get them out, and granted, I do the same, baby. If you gotta cry, cry. If you gotta be angry, you know, but don't just sit in those emotions. You gotta actually like let them be and run its course, and then be logical and know that, hey, you can't let this stick in the mud rule you. And yeah, I think just realizing that, you know, people sometimes can't be there for you, and that's okay. And it's not something to take personally, because, you know, we all have our things that's going on within our lives. We all have something going on. We're all so busy in some way or form, and that's okay. And if you can communicate that to that person, that's great. Definitely do that. But if not, then definitely know that all your feelings are valid and that you will get through it on your own. So yeah, I think hopefully that answered the question. But yeah, that's all I got for you for that one. And the last one, the last self-reflection question. Which one of my mistakes taught me the most this past year? What did it teach me? Which one of my mistakes taught me the most this past year? What did it teach me? See, and I think this is just a huge thing within my life. Like, I don't know, like, okay, everybody makes mistakes, yes. But seemingly, like, sometimes in my life, like, I feel like I don't get the chance to make mistakes. And granted, I feel like that's definitely God's favor over my life, so I would totally thank Him for that. But I think, I don't know, like, sometimes I just think that certain things just happen to me in my life, and then I just have to bear through it. And it's not necessarily from my own doing, it's just things just happen, you know. And granted, yeah, I do have the power to kind of navigate through those things that happen to me, and maybe that's where the mistake comes from. Depending on certain things, maybe I might harp on it too much or think it's my problem or something that I caused when really it just wasn't. And I think I can say that's genuinely a mistake that I make sometimes, a lot of times within my life, is, you know, when I'm thrown a certain situation or, you know, certain things don't go my way, I often tend to think that it's like my fault, or that I did something wrong to cause this thing to happen, or that I'm not deserving enough for good things to happen to me, or that I deserve bad things to happen to me. And that is not true whatsoever. You know, things just happen, and that's just that, and you can't change them. And it's like, if you can't change them, then why worry about them? Granted, again, all your feelings are valid and stuff like that. My feelings are valid and stuff like that. And it's just important that we know, like, the necessary steps to take to kind of get through those things. So I think for me, yeah, would definitely be to not take it personally. Just don't take it personally. You know, things just happen, and it definitely is not your fault, you know. Things just be happening. It just do. And you gotta either roll, you gotta either roll with the punches or get punched. And I ain't up for a fight right now. So and that's it for all the questions that I've had. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I didn't really get to journal much, but I'm gonna journal out the rest, and then I'm gonna show you guys the final touches or whatnot. So yeah, let's get to it.